Now, I've recently installed a Ubuntu server, and I will show you the version number on that server so you can see it. And it is LSD release -A Ubuntu version 21 troubleshoot. Current version. This is an osboxes.org box, which is good if you use VirtualBox, just because it already has the VirtualBox tools installed, and you can pretty much jump in. There are a few caveats there, and I'm going to go through some of those. If you have never used a modern release of Ubuntu server, there are a couple of things that are in this particular server that you may have never seen before. One of these is the Snap Package Manager. And this is snaps that are packages that will work across different Linux distributions. It's a different way of getting the package and managing the package versus Aptitude. And so there are things that you can do here. There are not many snap packages installed. You can see them. We can just kind of look at them. So snap list, there's not many things there. Just a core version and the snap itself. Now I can go in and actually find different packages and install them with Snap. So that's one way to go in and actually manage software in your Ubuntu server that's modern. Another thing that you want to get familiar with is Systemctl. And so this is a little bit different if you've never used it before. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. If I just type in Systemctl, what I'm going to get is just a ton of stuff. And these are all of the devices, modules, services that are loaded and started. And Systemctl calls these things units. And so each thing is a unit, whether it's a device that's identified on the system. You'll notice the third line there that says net-enp0s3.device. That is my actual network interface. So I can actually look at that device and see its status. And I can also will see services. And it shows over on the far right whether that service or device is loaded, running, and you can see that there are page after page of these 188 loaded units listed. And also notice that it says pass -all to see things that are inactive. I'm going to go ahead and pass that. So we can see that there are other things there. Auto mount, not found. Those are all loaded. There's a couple things that are not found. Block availability service. Connection manager, console screen service, display manager, quite a few other things here that we can see. Now, all of these things have even more statuses. So I'm going to show you how to look at the status. So we're just going to pick that Snap service, and I will show you how to look at that. So you do Systemctl, and then you do status. And you can do snapd, and it will automatically do a kind of a search to find the status. All right, so I can do it that way. But if I go ahead and type in snapd.service, I'm going to get the same thing. I'm going to clear my screen so you can see it again. So again, here's what we have when we do that. When we have that snap daemon that's loaded, we see that status, it's active, it's running. We see that it was 29 minutes ago. That was how long it's been since I restarted the VM. We can see the service that actually preceded or started it. In this case, it's called triggered. So snapd.socket. I can actually look at the status on snapd socket. Right, and so I can see what that triggers, right, and what it's doing. So I have really a lot more control over this. It also gives me the dmessage log of how these services are started. So if I have an issue with a service, I can actually look at the specific area where that service could have failed or it failed to start. We'll go back and look at our network adapter here. I'm going to go ahead and show you this. So I'm going to look at just the interface itself, Systemctl status, and ENSP0, ENPS03 was the, we're going to try and find that again, Systemctl, and then I'm just going to look for ENS, if I can't remember it. And I'm not doing a very good job remembering what that is. So I'm going to go look at the whole list again. And it's ENP0S3. So here we go. Systemctl ENS0PS. ENP0S3. ENP0S3. You gotta learn, when you're in the command prompt, you gotta learn to type a little better. So, ENP0S3, and I have to put a device on it. So, the interesting thing about this particular device is that what will happen is it will show inactive in some cases. So notice if I go and actually try and ping something, it doesn't work. So here I am, and I have 0 network connectivity on my VM because my device, my network device, basically is listed as being dead or inactive. So what I have to do is I have to actually restart my networking service. But I have to look and see what is its status. Okay, so I'm going to look at that, and the status is, this is in systemd. Systemd is actually a lot of core services. So what I can do is actually show all of the systemd statuses. So I can see that in the systemd there's a journal, there's a password wall, there is user service, lots of stuff here inside. But one of the things is systemd/networkd. Right? So what we'll do is we'll look at that a little bit closer. So systemd-networkd. So as you can see, I have my network service is active, but clearly the network device was listed as dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and instead of status, I'm going to actually restart that service. I'm going to have to authenticate with my super user do password. It said that access is denied. So I'm going to go ahead and run that as super user. Sudo systemctl restart systemd-networkd. Okay, and then I restarted that. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the status on my adapter again. It says inactive still. Let's check and see if we can get out. And we can't. So even though it still says inactive on the network adapter, now we were able to get out and get traffic out onto the network. So that is a quick way to go in and restart. There is a lot of information in Systemctl, and you have the option of doing quite a bit. I'm going to give you a help here. Notice that you can filter this. You can there's lots of different options. You can isolate the unit. You can stop it hard, stop it softly. You can do quite a bit of other things. It is much more complex than the original systemd service, where all you had was status start and restart. So a lot more stuff here, and you can see there's a lot of fine granular control that can be done when you were looking at a system and a server here. Now, as far as why that network actually decides to stop working from time to time, that is something that I'm still researching. But other than that, you can really get a lot of information on your Systemctl, but you have to know how to access it and use it. I hope this helped you in that and your Ubuntu system administration. We'll see you next time.